Hi crocheters of the world, in this tutorial we will work together on this pullover. It's a oversized short pullover with the crochet brioche stitch. So lovely. It is just beautiful. I just adore it. Look at it. Now let's talk about a little bit about the structure of the tutorial, the yarn, the quantity, hook that I use, and then let's get started. So first of all, the tutorial is, let's say, divided in two parts. First part, in a sample, small sample, I show you all the steps. So I am working actually a small pullover, so you can see absolutely all that you need, all the details, all that you have to know about it, measures and so on. In the second part, which is a very short part, I didn't actually draw down all my measures. So all the measures that I have, so sleeves and length and absolutely all, in rows and chains and stitches and in centimeters. So from there I explain how to alter in other sizes. So it's actually impossible. You cannot do it. It's absolutely impossible. Now, I worked with the fabulous, I can say fabulous yarn of the Stone Washed XL. It's super beautiful, so nice and soft. I used about, yes, I can say 500 grams of this yarn. And if you want to calculate for one size more, you will put 100 to 150 grams more. Okay, so I can say 550, okay, to be just sure. 550 grams of this yarn. Now, if you want to purchase the yarn from our boutique, this is the first option. This is the yarn that I used, but there is another option. It's so nice and fine. It is the Fashion Metallize. Look at this. So it's really a little bit glittered. It's just very, how can I say, very fancy yarn, and you will have a very fancy pullover. Mine, it's more casual. Now, if you want to work it with this one, you will have just something so very fancy. Yes, I have it in 3 beautiful colors, really nice and really fancy in the colors too. Now, even for this one, you will need the same quantity of yarn. Hook, crochet hook, I use with 5x5. I use 5.5 millimeters hook, and that's all. Yes, I think I've just say everything you need. Anything you need, oh, just ask me in the comment below, but I'm sure. But first of all, just watch the tutorial, watch it first, all entire tutorial, and if you have some questions after that, you can just ask me. I like to do the tutorial. Hope you will enjoy it. So let us begin our brioche stitch crochet pullover. And first of all, I want to show you the structure because it's so easy. First of all, we will need a chain. I have here a chain. I will work on a sample, don't forget. So a chain, and the length of this chain must be half of the length of this chain must be the length that we want our pullover to be, plus 1, so, or per 2, because it's front and back, so we work front and back vertically. So this pullover, it is worked vertically. We will work vertically the front in length and the back, so both parts together. Okay, and we will have this is the length of the front side and back side, and we will go ahead and work like this, a part that must be the shoulder, so from the neck to 3 centimeters from the neck to the end of the shoulder, and the other part, exactly the same measure, will be fallen on the arm. So actually on the arm, okay? So because we have the I don't know how to the name, exactly the name of this kind of shape or of sleeve. It's fallen sleeve, okay? So it's like this. Okay, so this is the first part. Then we will divide. So we will go ahead and work until exactly halfway. So put always a even number of stitches. Work always, this is a rule, work always a even number of rows. Okay, so even number of stitches I put here on my sample 30, and even number of rows. And I will work 8 rows in this sample. At the end, so this is the first part where I just show you the structure. At the end, I will show you and explain you the measures that I put on mine, which is a medium size, and how to alter in other sizes. Okay, so we stop at the middle. Okay, so we work half stitches, and then we will begin to work on these half stitches the back side, and will be the back of the neck. The back of the neck as rows must contain 4 more rows than this part. So if here I work 8, here I will work 12. Okay, again a even number, and this is the back of the neck. Then I will cut the yarn and I will go and work. I will cover the front side. For the front side, I will decrease first, like this, on half, okay, to obtain the V-neck, and then on the other half of the stitches, I will increase like this, something like this now. Okay, I will increase to obtain the other half of the V-neck. Then I will work again front and back together for the other part. Neck plus arm. So not neck, sorry, shoulder plus arm. Okay, so let's say more or less we need about 8-9 centimeters on one of these two parts. So then you will just calculate your, I will show you the measure, and as I said, on the second part. Okay, so this is what we have. When we finish this, and we always work vertically on this part, okay, we have to put the arms, and for the arms we will work vertically too. Will be like this, the arm, okay, so up and back, up and back, up and, okay. Now for the circumference, so for the chain is in length, so you will measure the length that you need from where on where the arm is fallen, sorry, not the arm, the pullover that you already did, okay, and to the length of the sleeve that you have to cover, okay. And for the circumference, it's something that must be the same, so you have to choose a average circumference between the arm and the wrist. Okay, so something, because we don't decrease, we don't increase, so we just work a piece that we will sew together. Okay, now let's get started. So this is what you will have. Let's get started with our stitch. So let's suppose that this is my front and back together, and now I must begin, sorry, to work on this. So I will chain one more. I have 30 stitches here, a even number of stitches you need, yarn over, insert hook. So we will work on the wrong side of our chain. Here in the middle we have insert hook, yarn over, insert hook into the second chain from the hook, and pull up a loop. Now pinch in between the first and these two, so like this, pinch, and then pull the first through these two. This is the stitch that we will use. Now you must work loosely. I am working with a 5.5 millimeters hook, and if you want to work with this particular yarn, if you know you work tight, you can use 6 millimeters hook. Okay, so can you see? Pinch and pull through, pinch and pull through two. Okay, and this is the very first row. Now let me just finish this. So it's really easy. This is a very easy stitch to work, but it looks like the knitted brioche stitch, and it has a very nice effect. Okay, I'll just finish my first. I finished my first row, and now to begin from the second, you will chain one and turn. Always work always back loop only. So not this that you have here on the side, but this is your stitch. So exactly when you work the chain, can you see it's this one? Okay, so work the chain and you have, okay, yarn over in back loop only, back, pull up a loop, and go ahead and work your long part. So this is the long part because we work front and back together in length. Okay, now I will work my 8 or 10 rows here on this sample, and then I will be back to show you how to divide to work the back of the neck, and then of course how to work the front and the other side and the sleeves. So I will actually show you all that you have to know. I finished my 8 rows for the entire length, front and back, and now I will move on to the second part of our pullover, the back of the neck. The let's say general rule here is that we will work the number of rows that we have to work for the back of the neck is the number of rows that we already completed for the front and back together plus 4. So I completed 8, I will work 12. And another very important thing here, 8, another very important thing here is to use a counter, rows counter. I really don't remember exactly the name of it, but you know what I'm saying. It's impossible, almost impossible to count the rows here. Believe me, I tried in so many and various ways, and I was always wrong. So what can I say? It's almost impossible. So it is confusing, and we really need to know how many rows we put. So as you can see, we have to put the same number of rows here, the same number of rows here, here and here. So or the sleeves. So it's very important. That's why or you use a counter, and this is perfect, or you use this method so I just write down all the rows that I need to work for one part. So this is the first part, and I need to work 8 rows. So I put down 8, and then I just cut with a line, or mark with a line the row that I just finished. And now I just finished the 8th. I just want to mark with a line, so I know that it is already worked. Okay, now I need to work the back side. The back side is 8 plus, or the number for the part that I work front and back together, plus 4, so 11. So I will begin with the first, and I already worked the first, so we just work half of the stitches that we worked for the entire length, back and front. So I put 30, I worked 15 stitches. So this is my first row for the back of the neck. I finished it. Okay, now I will go with the second. Then here I put the same number of stitches but divided, as you can see, because it's the front side. This one will be the decreasing part and this one will be the increasing part. Anyway, we need the same number of rows to complete, okay? So half increasing, half decreases, but we have it. So here I have the front side too already put here. And now this one is the other long side, front and back length together. Okay, so this is how I work. You can use counter, you can use anything you want. So I work 15 stitches, first row down, chain 1, turn and work the second. When you finish the second, don't forget to mark as finished, or to move the counter. So it's you to decide how you will count your rows, but it is very important to count them. Now I will just continue on for 12 rows, and then I will be back to show you how to work the front side. So I finished my 12 rows, short rows here, and this is the back of the neck. I cut the yarn and I also made a knot like this. I want to show you, cut it a little bit longer so you can just, because from here we will begin to work our row, long row, first long row after the back side, back of the neck and front. And now I want to work the front of the neck. So I finished here with my 12. You must have a even number. If you have an even number of stitches, you will finish here. Okay, so this is my last stitch, my last row that I did. It is my 12. Okay, now what you have to do is to take it and flip it like this. Okay, so from this position and this one. Now this is a small sample. You will have your pullover, but just be sure that you did this. So you have here now the knot that you did. Okay, and now I will begin to work my front side. So on my front side I have to put half of the rows that I worked on the back side. I said even number. Half of them I will decrease, half of them I will increase. Here I have 12, so 6 and 6. Now let's get started with the decrease part. So we will decrease first. This is my first one. Here I worked the last of my back side, so I will insert hook and now you can chain or you don't have to chain, it's your choice. Pull up a loop, so don't okay, chain, let's chain. So don't yarn over, just pull up a loop. Okay, and now go ahead and pull up a loop into the next, and now we have our 3 loops, and pinch this and pull through 2. Okay, this is my first decrease actually, and now I will just continue on working my stitches as they are till the end. We will decrease in each row, 1 at the beginning into the next at the end, but in each row. Okay, now let me just work my stitches till the end. Put a marker into this decrease just to be sure that you know where it is. If you think you can miss it. Okay, this is my last stitch So chain 1 and turn your work and work all the stitches till the last 2. Oops, I forgot to mark. This was my first. Now I am working on my second. Okay, working on my second. And I have 1 and 2. This is my last 2. I will work 3 more. Okay. And now the same thing. Don't yarn over. Insert hook directly into the first stitch, pull up a loop, insert hook into the next, pull up a loop. Now we have 3 loops on the hook, pinch and pull the first through the second. This is my decrease. Now I will continue on like this. This is my second row done. And I will continue on like this for 6 rows. So chain 1, let me show you. Again, now I will begin with 1. So pull up a loop, pull up a loop, and pinch and work it. Okay, and now continue on. This is how you will decrease. This is the decreasing part. So I worked my last row of decreases. This is what I have. And this is my first part. Now I have to work the second, so to be again here, so to reach the other side of the neck, of the back of the neck, sorry. So I can just join and then begin to work again all the length together, so the front and the back together. This is what I have so far. Okay. And to increase, it's really easy. I finished here, I chained 1. To increase, it's really easy because we yarn over, insert hook into the first, and work the first. Yarn over exactly into the same, work another one. Okay, so this is how you will increase at the beginning and at the end for a total of 6. So don't forget 6. So I almost finished my second row. It's here, that's why I said put a marker, because it's easier to identify where is your last stitch. Now we will increase here 1 and 2, so we work 2. We will chain 1 and turn, and into this first row, into this first stitch, we will work an increase. Okay, so we begin with an increase, so immediately put a marker on. And now I will just continue on my 6 rows with the increases, exactly the same number of rows that I decreased. Okay, like this. And turn back, and this was my third. Okay, cut. Okay, so I finished. Now what I want to do is to slip stitch here on the back side, first stitch like this, and chain 1 and cut the yarn. And this is what we have. Now all that we want to do now is to complete with the other side, this one, and I will begin here as I've told you. Now to begin here, what I want to do first of all is to make my magic knot, or a knot that you this wasn't that magic. I want to say that. Okay, sorry, like this. Let's try again. So with the yarn that comes from the ball, 1 and 2. Okay, then here we put the third, not very tight, like this, and this we pinch them, and we go 1 and we go 2. Okay, No, it's not okay. Okay, sorry, it's something like this. Now, I don't know why I cannot do it. I just wanted to show you how easy it is. And you know, when you want to show something, not, I don't know why, sometimes. Okay, please do it, please do it. Yes, this is it. No, it is not, sorry. Okay, I will make it up. So I succeeded. I have my knot here and nothing. I just want to begin to work my last part of the body. My last part of the body is this one. Okay, so work all in one, exactly as you worked at the beginning. So back loop only, like this. Try to hide the knot. Okay, this is how you will continue on 8 rows more. Okay, last part, how to work and how to put the sleeves. Let's talk about the sleeve. So for the sleeve, first of all, you need to measure. So this is the first step, the number of stitches that you need here for the arm hole. Okay, sorry, this is the pen, so the pen, not the crochet hook. So how many you need, and let's say that we will need here 14, just let's suppose. So I will count from here 1, 2, so I know I have 15, and 7 plus 8 is 15, so I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. So it's here, the first one. And yes, I will put a marker. And now I will count on the other side the same thing. And I will join both. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it's here. Now I know that I have 14. So this is 14 for the sleeve that I leave out, and I need to sew these parts together. But let's finish with the sleeve first. And on this 14, so from this number we know that less 4, attention, less 4 will be the number of rows that you will use, that you will work for your sleeve. So 10 will be, I have here my sleeve, 10 will be the number, okay, this is the sleeve. So the sleeve is worked vertically, so this is the length, the beginning chain. So here it's you to decide the length that you need. And now here I have a little bit the measures. I will show you in the second part, but just want to show you. So it's from here, from where the pullover finish on the arm to the wrist, it's the length that you need for your sleeve. So you know that it's fallen, so it's on the arm, not it's not here, it's on the arm. No, it's larger, so it's extra large, so, or oversized. Okay, so from here to the wrist, it's the length that you need for your pullover, for your sleeve. Okay, and you put the chain on that length. Then you work the number of stitch on the number of rows less, as I said, less 4. So if here I have 14, I work 10 rows. Rows. And when I finish this row, on these 10 rows I must put on this side, okay? So here are the rows. On this side I must work 14, so the number of stitches that I have here, 14 single crochets on my 10 stitches, okay? So you will just work them here, and then we are ready to sew the sleeve on the body. So here on half number or half part I work 7 on 5, let's say, and I need to work 7 more because, as you know, so 1, 2, 3, okay, 4, 5, 6, and 7 here exactly into the chain. So I have my 7. Now what I need to do is I will cut the yarn a little bit longer because I will sew this. I will sew this on my. So now I have exactly the same number of stitches on the. Exactly the same number of stitches on the border here of the sleeve that I have on the opening of the armhole. Okay, so I can sew them together easily. I need to sew here all around, then here obvious to close the sleeve, and here. Now I just want to show you how to sew, and then I will go on our second part where I will a little bit explain you the measures, and I will show you my measures so you can alter it easily in your size. Now first of all, let me show you how I sew this. So the sleeve to the armhole. Okay, I insert the needle through both loops of the same stitch, and then into this one on the armhole the same. Okay, so we have 4 loops. Okay, like this, and I pull tight. Okay, like this, pull tight, and this is how I sew the sleeve. Now just want to show you, and you see it's perfect. You can sew it on the right side because it's just will be like this, so it's perfect. Now it's a nice sewing line, and here on the sleeve, on the side, and to join the sleeve, you will just work exactly the same stitch. You will sew with the same stitch, but take only back loop and back loop. Okay, back and back, back and back. Okay, this is the difference. Okay, so that's all. Now we have all that we need. Oh yes, all that we need. As I promised, second part, let's say second part of the tutorial, some measures, all the measures that you need to work your pullover. So first of all, as I said at the beginning, you will need the length, the total length, front and back. So this is front and back. And for this front side I have 42 centimeters, so the entire length is 84 centimeters, and I put a total of 111 chains, so I remained with 110 stitches, and I work my both sides, front and back, for 22 rows. 22 rows or 18 centimeters. As you know, I am a medium size. Then for the back of the neck, it's the rule, you know, the general rule it's the number of rows that you worked for the entire length. You will add 4 more. So in my case, 22 plus 4 is 26. So I worked 26 rows on the 26 rows and 22 centimeters back of the neck. And on the front side, instead, I worked 13 decreases. So from 26 rows, 13 rows of decreases and 13 rows of increases. Okay? And the other one, it's exactly the same. Okay, as for the sleeves, for the armhole, so the first thing you need to do is to measure how to leave for the armhole. I left 38 stitches all around, so back and front and back, 38, and then I measure the length from where the pullover is fallen, from the wrist, because it's not the shoulder, you know, it's the arm. From the wrist is the length that you need to put, and I worked 35 centimeters, 47 stitches, so 48 stitches. Okay, so, and how many rows? Now, how many rows I worked? I worked 34 rows, and here, you know, it's you have to complete the number of rows less 4 than the number of stitches that you decided to leave out for the armhole. So 38, it's 34 rows. Okay, so if you leave out 38, you need to work 34 rows for the sleeve. And then you will work, obvious, the single crochets here that will be the same number of the armhole stitches. So 38. On your 34 you will work 38 single crochet, exactly as I shown you before in the sample. So this single crochet row, you must have the same number of stitches, obvious, here, so you can sew them perfectly. Okay, so what else? Let me just think. I think I cover all the measures that you need. As you can see, it's really easy. The only increase and decrease that you need to do is here on the front side, but as you can see, it's really easy. I covered all. Let me know if you just have some questions. I worked with 5.5 millimeters hook, and I use 450 to 500, let's say 500 grams of yarn. So for the medium size you will need 150 more for one size more. And yes, that would be all. I really hope you will like this this project, because I just love it. It's a brioche crochet stitch pullover, and it's so sweet, so nice, and so fashionable. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss another video of mine. And don't forget to like my tutorials. For me it's so much, for you it's just a second. And if you want to leave me a nice comment, please do it. See you at the next tutorial. Bye bye.